So I have jumped straight into episode 2. I've lit my candle, I've got my Coca Cola, and I'm all snug as a bug, and I'm looking forward to this. Do you know what I find really funny? Like, these lads go out and they do whatever they're doing and they look at it as like a sport or whatever. And, like, society just rewards them for their bad actions by giving them like Netflix series, books, movies. It's like, what? And then they're like teaching like another generation how to do the things that they don't. Like, I don't know, it's just crazy. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like, Jesus was like meant to be like the biggest person on the planet for like doing good, and he got like one film. And in that film, The Passion of the Christ, the main scenes are him just being tortured. Like, I'm sorry, like, as a Catholic and as someone who's religious, it's just like, really? Like, when do you ever see a film about God or anything? You know what I mean? The amount of films and series that are based on the devil or, like satanic stuff. And it's just like, what is going on? But I'm not here to judge society. I'm just here to enjoy what it has to bring to the table, I suppose. So we're gonna get back into this. Can we just like appreciate Evan Peters' butt? Like, whoa. But what I can not understand is, right, like anytime I've watched anything about like cannibalism and things like that, they always say that like the woman's meat is sweeter and juicier and nicer. Don't quote me on it. But I've watched a lot of like cannibalistic films over the years. Don't ask me why. And like all his victims were male, you know what I mean, that we know of. So like I wonder what the reason was for that. Like, they say that he was gay, but like I think they were just the easiest to lure in. I don't know. What do you think? Comment below. Okay, so the plot thickens. He was a convicted sex offender on parole. It's like they were just asking him to be a criminal. Okay, so I was saying in my first upload that it'd be nice to see a bit of Jeffrey's past, like as to why he ended up the way he did. And it looks like we're going to be getting flashbacks. Whoop, whoop. I have to remind myself that this is based on a true story. Because, yeah, I don't know. If I don't, I'll feel evil for enjoying it. I don't know, like, yeah, so. Okay, so in episode 2, we're getting flashbacks of what could have made him turn out the way he did. And he found his mom, obviously, overdosed. I don't even know if I can say that on YouTube, but whatever. And then the way his dad reacts about it, he's all like, oh, she's faking. She's a good actor. Did she really do it this time? And it's just like psychotic much. And this little Jeffrey lad is just standing there and so sorry for him. Do you know what I mean? Like, anyway, getting back into this. If this does not stress the importance of a father figure in a boy's life, I don't know what will. Okay? Because it's so apparent that when a boy doesn't have a father figure to look up to, his life can go left or right. You know what I mean? It all depends on how his brain is wired. And, like a mom can only do so much as a mother for their son, and if they lack that father figure in their life, it can be detrimental to their brain development and the person that they turn out to be. Okay, now I'm at the part where they find the possum underneath the house, and there's a hole in the possum's head, and the dad makes up some crazy story about a coyote biting through the possum's head, and that's how it died, and it ran under the house for safety. And then he proceeds to tell a young Jeffrey about putting acid on cotton balls inside a toad's brain and what it does. Like, that father single handedly imprinted all of this into that little boy. So I'm at the part now where the dad is bringing him around to find roadkill, and he brings him back to the shed and cuts open a raccoon in front of him. I understand his dad is like a doctor or whatever, but really, you know what I mean? And then the mother's fighting with him saying, no, you can't do that or whatever. And the dad's like, do you know what? I'll calm you down and lobotomy. Like, and the young lad's just sitting there listening to all this, like, we've come out of that flashback, and it brings you to where he has a job as a butcher. The irony. And we talk about the fact that he just like hid in a changing room until dark and stole a mannequin. And not a sound was made by alarms or nothing. Was that what it was like back then? Like, and I'm on to the part now where it's like bringing us back into the future because it's like flashbacks to the past and then the immediate past and then present day. Like, grandma knew something was up. Grandma knew something was up. Okay, so he buys a kid beer who is actually the brother of someone we will call a victim that ran away from him. And the kid still takes it upon himself to go back to his place. And then he confronts him, and then Jeffrey gets all like defensive. And then, like, I think this is like the realest I've seen him so far in the first two episodes. Like, he's there confronting a 14-year-old. And then he obviously does whatever he does to the 14-year-old. And then the 14-year-old wakes up and he says something like, oh, I thought you were going to die, or I was hoping you were going to die so we can have fun. And his eyes looked like he was possessed. Like, he didn't even look like the same human being. He looked like he was possessed. And then I was kind of thinking, well, in the first episode, he's gone on about the exorcist. And I'm starting to think maybe, like, was he possessed? Like, I don't know. What do you think? Like, comment below. Like, do you think it was possible that he was actually possessed when he was doing these things? You know what I mean? Because like possession can make you do some crazy shit. Okay, now we're getting into like the nitty gritty, and I'm just gonna like, will I? Won't I? Will I turn it off? Will I keep watching? Will I watch like this? Okay, so his eyes were actually contact lenses, but still, I noticed. Did anybody else notice that until he said it, or did you notice before he said it? But this is getting like eerie. Right. Seriously, what the hell? Like, another fine day for the American police. And then the call at the end, which is like the actual call, like, this neighbor was spot on. And sometimes it makes you wonder, like, how certain people get into authority. And then there's other people who are just like built for figuring things out and they're not in authority positions. Like, I'm absolutely flabbergasted. This whole episode, there wasn't a lot to say about it. Like, I was just more so like soaking it all in. But yeah, like from what I've seen so far, like, so I'm gonna jump into the third one.